It's dark. There you go. How's it going? Good morning, people. Well, day 6, 26 days of you, mental and emotional well-being or fitness, depending on how you want to look at it. So we've had some original, or not some original, some original. Let me get my thoughts here. I got a lot of things running around in my head today, and just need to get them straight before I start spewing them out. And I'll try to keep it short, right? So I've had some interesting realizations, which I always do when you're out here with me and we do this kind of stuff. So I'll share those with you today. But my first question, as always, I'd like to know, what'd you dream about? Are you guys dreaming about clutter and cleaning up your house? Or are you dreaming about sunsets and emotions? What are you dreaming about? Write it down. Write it down. And then my next question is, how'd you do? Is your room clean? It's a question I seem to ask so many times in my life as a father. Is your room clean? And I don't even want to talk about my room. I told him it was just between us, but I'll share it with you because it's me. I had a friend, you know him, Mr. Huntley. He's on here all the time. He said he started his process and he realized he's just got so much stuff. He doesn't know where to put it. And I shared with him, I'm paralyzed to the point I can't even get started. I too am a clutter junkie, and it's not just a clutter. I just think everything has importance, and it's not so much that I'm a hoarder, because I'm not, but I do keep a lot of stuff thinking I'll get back to it eventually, and then you pile it up, and then pretty soon the piles take over, and you manipulate the piles so that they look clean and organized. And there's a box in my closet full of papers I probably haven't looked at in 2 years. I can't even tell you what's in there. So, Mike, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. What I'd like to focus on today, okay, let's review like you do always. This is day 6, and we're getting close to the end of these 7 days. And I got to tell you, this is not my favorite one, and I'll share with you why in a second. So day 1 and 2, we were supposed to set our goals and define what it is that we want at the end of the week, right? How are we going to look, feel, act at the end of the week, and be clear about it. And that's emotional. Emotional and mental well-being. For me, I shared with you that for my mental well-being, what I would like to do is improve my memory. And it kind of deteriorated a little bit during some of the health things I was going through a little while back. And I am working on that. And it's not, I shared with you also this, I don't want quick fixes and tricks on how to try and place things in there. That might be how some people remember things. But for me, I think it's the clarity of being present in the moment that helps you remember what it is that's happening. When you go through life at Mach 10 and you're only paying attention to certain things, you have a tendency to forget because you never really notice the things around you. So that's what I'm changing. And as far as my emotional well-being, I want to share this with you. I said that I would like by the end of this week to be able to express my emotions outwardly and inwardly in a productive manner. Well, in order to do that, I felt it necessary to approach and look at as many emotions as I could. Well, the problem with that is when you reach for anger or frustration, you find it. And I did. And it wasn't hard. And when you reach for jealousy or rage, you find it. And I did. And it's not hard. So your reticular activating system, trust me, it works. Good morning, Mr. Clark. Mr. Motley's on here. Good to see you, Mr. Motley. Excuse the stammering this morning. Like I said, I got a lot to say, and the words are trying to jump out of my mouth before I even think about them. So I'll calm down a little bit. Let's go back to what I was talking about. As far as experiencing the emotions, when you look for them, you're going to find them. So that's why this is not really my favorite. I hope it's helping, and it's definitely helping me. But during those times of extreme emotion, when I felt like maybe I was being productive by associating the ones that I normally repress or put off or ignore. I wasn't, and I didn't like it, and I'll tell you why. Um, we are not always the same person, but we run our lives dictated by the states that we're in. Our emotional states dictate how we respond, make decisions, think, and act all the time. And I'm an advocate for that. As a leader, I know that if you can manipulate, and then that's a bad word, but let's say if you can change people's states of thought, feeling, emotion, actions, you can lead them to a better place. And that's what I strive to do as a leader. And the first person I want to lead is myself. So in an extreme state of emotion, your responses, your decisions, your words, your actions, they're totally different. So I believe that when you wake up and when you move, you should put yourself right away in the best state of being ever. The one that just motivates and powers you through. And in this process, we're looking at all of our emotions. So I touched them. Now, emotional well-being. I have decided at this moment, and maybe my mind will change, I don't know, but at this moment, I've decided that my emotional well being and fitness is taken care of by controlling the states of emotion that I'm in. Does that mean I don't get stressed? No. And we're going to talk about stress in a minute too. But I'm going to allow myself, and I got this from Tony Robbins, I'm going to allow myself the 90-second rule. I'm going to allow myself, whenever I feel stressed, to be stressed for 90 seconds. And then I'll realize that stress isn't going to solve it. Stress isn't going to help it. Stress isn't going to change anything. And I'll move on. And that's it, 90 seconds. And I might even cut it to 60 seconds because 90 seconds just seems like a waste of time. Okay. So does that mean I don't get stressed? No. Does it mean I don't feel angst or anxious or I hate to say angry. The word anger makes me mad. No, but I do feel those emotions, but in an extreme state of being, an extremely positive state or an extremely happy state or an extremely optimistic state, those have no room for existence. And that for me, is emotional well-being. And I'm going to stick to it and I'm going to live my life that way for the rest of the time. Period. Like, don't ask me otherwise. I'm kidding. Okay. And I hope you guys have found for you what emotional well-being is for you. Now, mental well-being is for me not just the mental actions of the brain and being able to cognitively think and speak what we need to do and remember the things that are important, because I believe that's an entire essence, and I'm going to make that my mantra when I work on my memory. But I think that mental well-being, as I've talked to a lot of people about this week, is being comfortable with what you stand for and who you are. Don't know about the 90-second rule. I'm going to try it for sure. Good. Let me know how it works. Okay. Again, I'm jumping around, but I'll share with you stress. Stress in my life almost killed me, and I'll share that with you. And it saved my life when I turned around, and I'll share that. So the mental well-being for me is being comfortable with who you are and what you stand for, and knowing that what you stand for is right. Now, how do you do that? Well, trial and error. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to listen to other people, get advice, and know that, maybe, and then do some research. And so you can change and grow. You don't have to lock yourself into one idea and then follow that idea all the way, regardless, unless you're just absolutely sure it's the right thing for you. On that note, don't try to push it off on other people. This was my mistake this week. Don't take what you know to be right, to be true, to be concrete, and try to have other people see it. If they ask you for it and they ask your opinion, and as a teacher, people do, and that's what leads me to my mistake and gives me the trigger that I'm going to talk about. When you know that you're right, and I'm always right, ask my kids, ask my students, they'll tell you. When you know that you're right, I'm just joking, but not about this. Sometimes you want other people to know it too, and not in a mean way. At least for me as a teacher, I hope to shed light on the subject that somebody else is traveling down, the road they're traveling, the thing that they're thinking about. If I've been there before and I can give them a little bit of advice or tell them hey, this is what it is. You could do this, and this would change things for you. And then they don't listen. I'm triggered to become adamantly pushy. Well, not really pushy, arrogantly sarcastic. Let's come up with some $4 words, because it floors me that people can't see what I see. And I realize that's not a possibility. That's not how it is. People don't need to see what I see. They don't. It's not up to me to change everybody or lead everybody for that. As a teacher, that's a tough one. I think that people reach out. When I reach out to listen, I'm I'm truly interested in what it is somebody else has to say if I ask. I'm a diligent and respectful student always. So on that note, I allowed one individual, one unteachable individual, and I have a bad habit of calling people names. I'm going to avoid that because this person doesn't, nobody deserves that. Okay. That's just me categorizing them in the situation of my life. This individual doesn't know. He probably will not know for a long time, and that's okay. Um, I've been the path. I've walked it as a 10th degree black belt. I know, and I know. Okay, I've tested it, proven it, been proven wrong. And on another note, I wanted this individual to be right. What he was telling me, I wanted him to be right. I wanted to be wrong so that I could change and adopt and grow. And he's not right, and he won't ever be right. It's never going to change. So he needs to move past that. But it's not my responsibility. And that triggered me to this, and that allowed not my anger but my frustration emotion to come out. And I expressed my frustration outwardly. I don't know if it was productive or not, but there's videos out there of me expressing my frustration. I hope you enjoy them. And I will continue them because there are people that do want to be taught and do want to be led. But remember what I said, we got to let people go. My question for me, from you, or from me to you, yeah, would be that when do you cut it loose? Remember we talked about just letting those people go. When do you cut them loose? When do you stop trying? There's an old adage about children and walking, right? And I know I'm getting long-winded, but I got a lot to say. Children and walking. How many times do you give your child to walk? How many chances do you give them? Well, you give them all the chances they need, right? So that's why most people in the world walk. But when you have somebody that has not sought you out for advice, and online, you get a lot of that. People don't come to you for advice or come to you to learn often. They chime in here just to be a troll or try to show you what they think they know. And that's totally okay. So when do you cut them loose? My decision was to cut him loose now. He's gone. Okay. He can go do whatever he wants to do somewhere else. I wasted 45 minutes of my day trying to explain to this gentleman something he's never going to get. Okay. So I cut him loose. Why did I cut him loose? I'll do this brief and then we'll move to leadership. I had, without getting too personal, I went through some health issues and pretty detrimental. And what was going to happen was I was either going to die or I was going to live, right? And the treatments that I was taking were making me feel like I was dead anyway. So I quit the treatments and I learned a different way. One of the things in the different way was to cut loose the things that stress you out, that make your body feel the dis-ease and the uncomfortable crap that it physiologically changes your cellular structure, and there's no way you can be healthy. You cut them loose. And so I tagged a few things in my life that were stressful. And at the time, they were. And so I let them go. I moved on. And it made a few people mad because I had to cut loose, or I chose to cut loose a couple of the activities I had that involved, 5, 6 other people at a time. Doing that and giving up some foods that were bad for me and seeking the advice of experts on these things. I just didn't make this crap up. I sought the advice, as I always do, of experts. As of January this year, I no longer had the health issue. And I'm changing and I'm growing again and I'm happy and I'm healthy for the most part. But I feel as I do that, I slip back into old routines. Some of the things I gave up are back in my life. Are they stressful? No, no, yeah, no. Um, and I got to watch it. Okay. And along those lines, my livelihood, what I've been doing for 40 plus years, teaching martial arts, has its moments to where I consider not teaching the masses anymore. I love teaching and sharing what I know. I love learning, and I don't want to feel like I'm giving up. But after 40 years, sometimes I think it's okay just to keep those 20 or 30 students and let others pick up where I've left off and take it to the new heights beyond what anything I could ever achieve. I'm not doing it yet, but it's in my mind because in that world, there's a lot of people that don't want to be taught, that don't want to grow, don't want to change. And when you get to a certain level, and I'm sure a lot of 10th degrees feel this way, people just don't get it. And that's okay. It's really okay. All right, enough about me, right? Let's look at some notes here. And closure on your list of things to do today for mental stability or mental well-being and emotional well-being. I want you to put closure. If your room's not clean and you started cleaning it, Mike, clean it, get it done, get that closure, get it out of the way. Even if it's not perfect, get it done. With me, if I leave that little situation hanging, I'll dwell on it. Even just one person out of a thousand that I teach, and the 1,000 people are really receptive and they understand, they know, they test it, they try it for themselves, they find out that it's true, and I got one person that doesn't, I'll dwell on that. I don't know why. Emotional instability, I guess. So I need closure in that, and the closure will happen today and in Monday when I go live again from the dojo. Okay, that'll happen for me, and it'll be done. So get closure on things that are troubling you. Good. Leadership. Most important thing about leadership is the self-leadership, the ability to lead yourself, to change your states of being, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and your actions. When you can honestly do that and you make the changes within yourself and you learn those skills, you'll have them forever. Okay, I know I'm running long. I'm going to try and get off here and get you on your way, but this is important to me. I think it's important to you. We talked about it in the Be Positive, and boy, is it getting dark out here? That's pretty cool. I don't know. You see that? It's changing. Fall's coming. Your ability to lead yourself is an important ability. To lead others, you know, that can be taught and it can be learned. Um, and some people are born leaders. To do it for the greater good is the ultimate role of leadership. What is our most lacking commodity in the United States today? What do you think it is? I think we'd agree that it's real leadership across the board. We look for and reach for good leaders. And if you're thinking about studying leadership and becoming a leader, do it. It's worth the time. Start with yourself and let's move forward. I might even try and do a little podcast on that and give you some tools that some of the greats have learned and put out there on leadership skills. That sounds like a good idea. I've got a great idea that I'm coming up with for the next one. Unless you're really interested in doing physical well-being next, we can do that, or financial well-being. We can share, you know, some of the financial tricks and tips from all the gurus and money gurus. We can do that too if you want. You need to speak up now, because as we go forward, the next podcast is going to be something. It's my next book. And I sat down when I had this idea, and the whole book is there. And I can't wait to do these 7 weeks, because there's 7 different things that I've got for you that are just, I think, are incredibly awesome. Anyway, let's go back. I think I've touched on everything. Leadership, resources, 90-second rule, something new I learned, reticular activating system, anger and frustration. What you focus on becomes your reality, right? Yeah, I think I've touched on everything. I'm always, oh, yeah, good. I hope you have a great day. I hope you've had a great week. It's Friday. Get out there and enjoy Friday. I don't know if it's your last day of the week It's my wife's last day of the week, so we always celebrate Friday for her. And then we get to spend tonight together. We're supposed to be dancing. We're supposed to be dancing tonight on Friday. Not anywhere. We're just going to dance with each other in the living room or on the patio or in the grass or wherever I can get you. Wherever I can get you. We're dancing. And then Saturday we get to go to the rodeo, and Sunday is our first day of the week. So what's that? We're clean. Yeah, Sunday she says we're cleaning. What did I do? Sunday I'll actually start the new podcast. So let me know what you want to do. You want to do financial well-being, physical well-being? I've got some amazing gurus we can pick from, or do you want me to go right into the new book on? Have you come up with a title yet? Was it Everyday People? What are we going to call it? I don't know. I'll let you know. We're still working on a title. God, I think that's it. Seemed like there was a whole lot more. Leadership, become a leader. Triggers, watch your triggers. Reticular activating system and emotional health. I've discovered it. I know what it is for me. It's the ability to put myself in an intense state of wonderfulness at the start of every day, so that all my decisions, all my actions, and all my words motivate towards that direction and lead me to help lead others. Wow. I'll bet I couldn't say that twice if I wanted to, but it's on here and I'll be able to rewind it and play it. I love you. And I love you. So let me know what you think. If you like this stuff, please hit the like button for me. Share it with other people so that we can grow our audience, and make sure that you're subscribed if you're not. And I promise I will not waste your time. Okay? So I will end the stream. Peace. I think that it stays on until about right